Welcome to another episode of Hard Target Range. Today we're going to be looking at the Glock 21 and the 1911. Let's go shooting! Well, here we are back in the shop, and I see Jack left me some of my favorite beaten lemon juice. Well, I guess we can't have grapefruit juice all the time, can we? Sometimes I wonder if it's worth any longevity this might be giving me. There is something to the old saying, it's not the length of life I'm concerned with, it's the quality of life. So, at any rate, here we go. Let's get it done. I'm going to drink it, Jack. To the sunny slopes of long ago. You like the red tongue. I'm glad you're amused, Jack. I really am. That's the only reason I drink this, is to amuse you. So here we are back in the shop, guys. And no, that doesn't heat you up and cool you down all at the same time. It's just something you got to get done. And we got our Glock 21. And I really like the Glock 21. And it feels so great in your hand. But singularly held by one hand, it really is kind of a large grip for my hand size. But that leaves that large span on that side to put this hand. So when I get both of them together, I really like the way it feels. But I noticed that as I get out for further distances, up close and personal, and you run your drills and do whatever, you've got a shot placement that's all right for the job. But as I get further back, I find it harder and harder to keep any kind of real grouping. And I think the reason that is, or at least I've come to the conclusion of it, and I've talked about this before. I had that one firearms trainer one time years ago who would tell me something. You're bowling again. It was back to that bowling. You're bowling again, as in, instead of bringing the firearm straight up and out, I'm swinging it up. Yet you're bowling again, and I'd stop for a second, and he'd say, don't analyze it, don't think about it, just do it. Just do it right. Well, here's a case where, you see, at some point you have to analyze these things to figure out what's going on so you can decide whether it's worth pursuing or if you're just throwing good money after bad, basically. And I've decided the reason I get out at further distances and I can't keep a tight group like I can with a 1911, because there isn't that much difference between the trigger pulls on a Glock and a 1911 really when it comes down to being able to shoot accurately. My problem is, as I get further out and I have to concentrate on my sights and take my time a little bit more so I get that good shot placement, I'm moving this thing around. Because I don't have the ability to get the same kind of grip with one hand on this firearm due to its size as I can on the 1911, I am moving this gun around between shots more than I would with the 1911, because my second hand is affecting me on how I keep that sight on target, because it has a lot more ability to change the direction of that muzzle than it would on the 1911 when I hold the 1911. It then is doing what it's supposed to. It's supposed to be aiding the main hand and not fighting for control. And that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of fighting for control on the 21 with this hand. I think that's why I don't shoot it as accurately or as tight a group as you get further back. And I've heard this argument before, well, it doesn't matter because the usage of the firearm is an up close and personal thing. And as long as you can get it within a paper plate size location, that's going to get the job done. Well, that's all right. It makes you feel better for doing a lousy job with your shooting. But the fact of the matter is, you may have an instance where you're at a little bit more than a distance. You aren't at 21 feet, and you have a situation where you have to make a shot where you want to hit what's right behind and not hit what it's standing in front of. And at that point, yeah, I would prefer to have this firearm. So I say, you don't know when that's going to happen. You should be carrying that regardless of what the situation is. You see what I'm saying? I hope you get that. Very difficult to talk about here, which I've talked about before. So that's what I've decided, and I've spent a lot of time with this firearm, and I like it a great deal, but really, I have no business carrying this one when I can carry this one, is what I've concluded. And these are the things you have to decide as you pare things down. So I'll leave you a little more footage from that beautiful HardTarget range where we shoot those beautiful AR-500 steel hard targets from HardTarget. And if you'd like to get one, the link's down below. Just follow it and you can get yourself some of those beautiful AR-500 steel hard targets from HardTarget. I'll leave you with that footage, and thanks for tuning in today. Well, that ends another episode of the HardTarget Range. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, from Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe.